Hello, Bashar. My name is Jay.
All right, good day.
Yes. So I took one of your webinars a little while back. I don't remember the title, but it had to do with asking us to take a vote.
Yes.
Around the
fifth law.
Yes, correct.
Yes, because there were four, and we realized that in our interaction with many civilizations, one of the subsets of one of the laws perhaps would serve you better if it was spelled out as its own law, which became the law, everything is here and now, to help you remember that the present is where you exist. Yes. And so we asked for your votes as to whether you wanted to keep just the four laws or whether you thought it was helpful to have the fifth law to help clarify things a little bit more. How did you vote?
That yes, this is too short.
All right. And so?
So, and the end, after the vote, you mentioned that, well, in a sense, this was our graduation as a species into being accepted into the, I forget the name, but the collective of...
the Interstellar Alliance.
There we go.
You are, in that sense, approaching the idea of membership. You have an honorary membership, but you are approaching the idea of real active membership over the course of the next several years, yes.
Okay.
But it depends upon how much you align yourself with vibrations that are similar to other beings in that alliance. Yes.
So here's my question.
Here is your question. All right, speak up and be bold,
yes,
so that all may hear what you have to share.
Oh boy, oh boy. So given where we are now,
yes,
what are we contributing? And what could we contribute if we became more for our next step? So it's like two questions, actually. What are we contributing now? We must be contributing something.
Of course you are.
Yes. Which is?
Well, you are contributing many things, one of which is the idea, as we originally mentioned, that you chose to experience a great degree of forgetfulness and limitation in your reality as a spirit, so that you could remember who you are. The idea is there are not necessarily, although there are some, not necessarily many worlds that have experienced the same degree or depth of exploration of limitation and darkness as you have chosen to experience on Earth. The idea, therefore, is that this isn't a kindergarten, this is a master graduating class. It takes a strong spirit to go into that depth of limitation and forgetfulness and yet still be capable of remembering who you are and bringing light back into your life. That's highly transformative. We have learned many things about your ways of processing this transformation and have shared this with other civilizations who may also experience challenges, but not necessarily to the same degree that your world is. Thus, then they can look at you and say, well, if they can do it, it's easy for us. You understand?
I do, yes.
All right, so that's inspiring. One thing.
And what's our next evolutionary step? What could we give as we go along?
As we already said, being yourself as best as you can is what makes all the difference in the world. Because then you become an example of the vibration of a shift and a change that is representative of a desire to expand in a way that allows us to expand together as family and friends. And thus then by being able to interact with you that way, we are expanded as a family. You understand?
Yes.
So you are giving that as well. Does that help?
Yes, that does.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Or shall I say, does that answer your questions?
Thank you, yes.
All right.
I have another.
Oh, all right.
Which is, so is there a ship above us as you're here?
There are ships all over the place all the time. You can't always see them.
From your...
my particular ship myself
yes,
is still above the area on your planet you call Sedona.
Uh-huh.
But there are other ships from my civilization and other civilizations over your cities in various places at various times, almost all the time. You know, the idea is that there are many comings and goings. And it really depends upon whether you simply have the expansion ability in your senses to perceive that those ships are coming and going all the time. There are many vortex hubs around your planet that ships use to go from one dimension or another. They may be passing through whether they stop or not. The idea is that you can begin to perceive some of them more and more. You may not perceive all of them. But really the analogy of asking that question would be the same kind of analogy as asking a person on your planet who has a house underneath an airport if there's an airplane overhead. From time to time, yes, of course there is, because I'm in the flight path.
Uh-huh.
So In a sense, there are flight paths all over your planet and ships coming and going or stopping and observing or doing various things all the time. Whether you can perceive them or not is a matter of whether or not it's important for you to do so at that moment and the degree of vibrational similarity you may have to those particular beings passing by. Make sense?
Yes. So,
does this help you?
Yes.
And so,
is it possible to get an invitation to visit your ship?
Understand this. We are always, always, always beaming that energy and invitation to you all. You don't always answer. The idea, however, is that that happens at the right place at the right time. There is a timing to these things when it's truly beneficial and appropriate for all. All those appointments have already been made on a higher level. The only way to miss such an appointment is to spend time wondering if you will miss the appointment. That's the paradox. If you just get on about your life and be who you are as fully as you can, you will become the person with whom the appointments were made.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
So don't worry about it. You don't have to ask. All the invitations have already been sent. All the invitations have already been answered. If, in that sense, it is relevant for your life, it will unfold as long as you are being the best you can be. So you don't have to worry about it or think about it. Just get on with your life. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
That does.
Why, thank
you so much for
being
being
here. You are welcome
Yes.
so much.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
You too. Now that Andromeda Council contactee Tolek and Franco de Nicola have said that Mother Earth as a planet has ascended into fourth dimensional density, what will it take for humanity as a species to ascend into fourth dimensional density to the point where we will realize that time is an illusion, we don't need to have sex to reproduce, we don't need to eat to reproduce, and we can sleep less and all the other things that come along with being a truly fourth dimensional human?
Fourth density human.
Yeah, that's what I
You're
meant.
already a fourth dimensional human because you have 3 dimensions of space and 1 of time.
Right.
Density is a different thing.
Yeah.
You could look at the idea of dimension, in a sense, as a country, and density as states within that country. You can have the idea of third density and fourth density within the physical fourth dimensional space-time reality. Coincidentally, when you cross from the idea of fourth density to fifth density, you will actually also simultaneously be crossing into the fifth dimension. We, as a civilization, ourselves, are in the process of going from fourth density to fifth density, and this is why we are becoming less and less and less physical. You are going from third density into fourth density, but you will remain in physical reality as a species for about another 1,000 years or so. Over the course of that time, you will find yourself changing in ways that will allow you to refine your energy, accelerate your energy, where some of the things you needed to do before as a physical being will no longer be necessary, similar to what we have experienced, because we no longer eat, we no longer sleep. Our reproduction is handled energetically, very differently than it used to be. So you are heading in that direction. It will probably take you at least a couple of 100 years as an entire society to begin to show more and more and more of that. But what's your hurry?
There is no hurry. Just live life to the fullest, I guess.
You are all eternal, infinite beings. You know the timing of the transformation that is taking place on your planet. There is no rush. It's all working out. And again, all you need to do, as I said, it's the entire formula, is act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability, and then allow yourself to have no assumption as to what the outcome ought to be. That's all you need to do to experience the timing of the unfolding of all these changes. Now, it's possible that separate individuals may sometimes be a little bit ahead of the curve, and so it's possible that certain individuals will start to exhibit some of those things a little bit before other individuals, but again, that's all right. You're not going to go faster or farther ahead than will serve the collective whole you agree to be of service to. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
You won't leave anyone behind, so to speak. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Does that answer your question, then?
Yes, it does.
Why, thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day. Speak up, speak up.
This is Kelly.
Oh, all right, if you insist.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for your ebullience and your expansion and your permission to become more passionate and fully uniquely myself.
Thank you for yours. Remember, we are only acting as a reflection of your own higher mind.
I have issues with feeling limited in my ability to interface with mundane things like
Define mundane. And why are you defining them as mundane?
Because of my spirit seems to drop whenever I have to do anything that grounds me into this dimension in
All
terms
right,
of
but you do understand that the only reason you're having that experience is because of your definition of that experience. You understand that?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No.
Thank you. Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah.
Understand that as a physical being, your psyche is made up of a prism of three things: beliefs, definitions, emotions, feelings, and thoughts, actions. You understand?
Yes.
And the idea is that it all starts with the definition. It all starts with your belief. Some of your beliefs are conscious, some of them are unconscious. The idea is to get in touch with what those definitions are, because if you're experiencing a reality in a way that you don't prefer to, the only way you could be experiencing it that way is you have a definition of it that makes it feel that way. Because all feelings are secondary to belief. You cannot have a feeling about anything of any kind without first defining that thing in some way, shape, or form. If I throw a word at you that you don't know the definition to, you have no idea how to feel about it, do you?
What can I do to dismantle
I'm getting there.
Okay.
The idea is you have to get in touch with what that definition is. So, one way, it's not the only way, you can use your imagination to alter this however you wish, but one way is to ask a very pointed question of yourself. When you find yourself in a situation where you are feeling limited, ask yourself, what would I have to believe is true about myself in relation to the situation in order to generate the feeling I'm experiencing? If you are willing to hear the answer, then in some way, shape, or form, the answer will present itself to you about what the belief is. It might come in your thoughts, it might come in your inspirations, it might come in your dreams, it might come in the synchronicity in your life, it may come in a variety of ways. But if you're willing to receive the answer and find out what that definition is, and you're not afraid to find it out, you will find out what that definition is. Now, once you have discovered consciously a definition within you that is actually out of alignment with who you prefer to be, you will instantly recognize two things. All right, three things. You will recognize that it is nonsensical, illogical, and it doesn't belong to you. It came from someone else. Your parents, your friends, your school, your society, what have you. As soon as you identify a belief that isn't yours, that's out of alignment with your vibration, you will instantly see it's illogical, it makes no sense to hold on to it whatsoever. It belongs to someone else who gave it to you that you've been holding on to all this time. And as soon as it appears that way, you'll drop it, unless you have another belief that tells you should hold on to it for some other reason. And if that's the case, then you need to ask the question again and find out what that belief is. But as soon as you find out what the core belief is supporting all the secondary ones, and you let go of the core belief, all the secondary ones attached to it will also fall away. The only thing that weighs you down is luggage that doesn't belong to you. That's your first clue. If you're feeling weighed down, if you're feeling limited, you are carrying around a definition that someone else gave you that you don't realize you're still carrying around, lugging it around, getting tired. So the idea is to find out, oh, this isn't my luggage. Drop it. Give it back to the person. You don't want to steal their belief. You don't want to be a belief thief. Right?
Right.
So find out what it is, identify the belief, and then once you realize it's not yours, unless you have another rationale for holding on to it, it will dissipate. That's how it works. But first you have to understand that you have bought into these definitions and you're defining these things as mundane. As soon as you give it that definition, that's the only effect you can get out of it. Because again, remember, every situation, are you paying attention?
I'm doing my best.
All right. Every situation, without exception, is fundamentally neutral. There is no built-in meaning to anything. The greatest gift you have all been given in life I know this sounds funny in your language, is that life is meaningless. It is devoid of automatic meaning. They're just neutral props, neutral circumstances. You have all been designed as the meaning givers in life. You're what gives life meaning. So the meaning you put into a situation is what determines the effect you get out of it. Remember the fourth law, what you put out is what you get back? It's a law. So if you find that you're feeling mundane, you must be defining your relationship to the situation that's happening as mundane. And so the only effect you can get back is a reflection of the mundane. If, however, you understand and choose to buy into the idea that every single thing that appears in your life is there for a positive reason, to serve you, to learn from, to become a more expanded being and remember more of who you are, then you will give it that meaning, that interpretation, that positive energy. And no matter what anyone else's idea or anyone else's intention in that situation may be, the only effect you will experience from that same situation that serves double duty is the positive one based on the meaning you have chosen to give it. So the choice is in your hands. The total control is in your hands. Do you understand this concept?
I understand the concept. I'm particularly inflicted in the area of finances and creativity, if you have anything to share.
I am particularly inflicted. Notice the negative definition.
Feels that way.
I know, and what did I say about feeling?
That I need to know why I feel it and get rid of the
You
programming.
need to understand the definition that generates the feeling. I understand it feels that way. I'm telling you why it feels that way. Things don't just automatically feel a certain way. They only feel the way they do because you're defining them that way. So if you don't prefer the feeling of that limitation or that quote-unquote infliction, don't define the circumstance as an infliction. Do you understand?
Yes.
When you use the ideas of negativity, problems, obstacles, limitations, that's what you're going to get. But if you say, all right, here's a situation. It's neutral. It has no meaning, no power over me, nothing. It's a challenge. That's fine. Of course you will have challenges. If you don't have challenges and positive forms of resistance, you don't grow. So the idea is to look at this in a positive way. Oh, there's a situation here where this particular thing is not manifesting. And that's a challenge. How exciting that I am presented with this challenge, because now it's an opportunity to face this challenge in a positive way and expand my understanding and relationship to the idea of abundance and creativity. That's the response that will allow you to have a positive experience in that situation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But if you sit there and go, well, I'm so limited, I'm so inflicted, I just can't do anything, how can you expect any other kind of an experience other than one that carries infliction, limitation, and lack of creativity? Now, please do understand again that when we talk about the idea of watching your definitions and clarifying your definitions, you really have to be very, very precise. I have now at this point, up to this moment in the dialogue, used very colloquial terms so that you will understand what we are saying. But many of the ways that we actually said things are not as precise as they could be. Here's how to take it even further. When you say things like, oh, I'm experiencing a lack of abundance, a lack of finance, a lack of creativity, that's not possible. There is no such thing as a lack of trust, a lack of abundance, a lack of creativity, a lack of confidence. There is no such thing. There is, however, an absolute trust in lack, an abundance of lack. You see where we're going? It's not that you lack abundance, it's that you have an abundance of lack because of your belief system. It's not that you lack creativity, it's that you're using your creativity to make it seem like you're not creative, but that's a very creative thing to do. It's analogous to when people on your planet say, well, we only use 10% of our brains. Nonsense! You're using 100% of your brain to make it seem like you're using 10%. That's the difference. And when you start to have more precise definitions about these things in the way we have just described, you will see then that you don't have to struggle and suffer so much, because it's not like you have to learn how to trust. It's not like you have to learn to be abundant. It's not like you have to learn to be creative. You just have to use your trust, your abundance, and your creativity in the direction you prefer instead of in the direction that you don't. It's that simple. You don't have to learn these things. They're automatic. You always trust something to be true. If you didn't, you would have no experience at all. You understand?
Yes.
So, let go of the idea that you are not creative and not abundant, and watch your definitions, because again, I understand what you mean on your planet when you say that there is not necessarily the finance there, but the idea is don't just limit it to the concept of money. Money is all well and good as a symbol of abundance on your planet, but it's not the only one. If someone were to come along and give you a gift, would you turn it down because you didn't, in that sense, pay for it?
No.
Well, that's a form of abundance, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, then why insist on only one form of abundance being necessary to accomplish something when other forms of abundance might actually help you get there quicker? Why shut the door to all other ways abundance could come and all other forms in which it could come by insisting that only one way is valid, as your society has taught you? Do you want to really limit your abundance?
No.
Then don't focus on it being only money. Open up to all forms of abundance, and where money is necessary, money will flow. But where other forms of abundance may actually be the path of least resistance, that's what will happen. But your insistence that it can only happen this way will close the door to you ever experiencing it coming through another doorway. Make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping you lighten up a bit?
Yes, very much.
Please remember, all of you, the true path to enlightenment is to lighten up on yourselves
Yes.
first. You understand?
Yes.
Is this helping you?
Yes.
Do you feel a little bit more abundant, a little bit more creative, a little bit more free to be who you choose to be?
Yes.
Do you feel you can let go of baggage that you don't need to carry around anymore?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for choosing that. And remember, you are choosing that. It has nothing to do with the fact that we've said it to you. It has everything to do with the fact that you've said it to yourself, and that you choose to buy into that instead of something that's out of alignment with the vibration you know is true for you. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I'm pointing out all the way up. Way in the back, and you.
Hi, Bashar.
Andy, you good day.
My name is Amy.
All right.
I have recently opened a channel.
One moment. Can you all hear her? Speak up.
I have recently opened a channel, and
All right. Congratulations.
thank you.
In what form? Because you all channel from time to time.
Going into trance, similar
all right.
to what you do with Darryl.
You are talking about vocal channeling.
Yes.
Is that exciting for you?
Yes, it is. Well, I'm still learning.
So what? Is it exciting or
Yes,
not?
it is.
Thank
It's
you.
very exciting.
All right. No reason to hesitate.
Was wondering if you could tell me more about the entity that I have made contact with.
How long have you been doing this?
Just a few months. He approached me.
All right. Have you gotten any kind of a name that begins with an X or a Z or a Y sound?
Alpha.
Alpha, the A sound.
Yes.
All right. The other end of the alphabet.
Yes.
First and foremost, not always, but first and foremost, what is common when you begin that particular kind of practice is you will first connect with other aspects of your own consciousness, your own higher mind, your own guides, so on and so forth. And that will prep you, perhaps, if that is your desire or your agreement, to then work with other kinds of dimensional entities. So you may first be working with other aspects of yourself, thus then by alpha, the idea that it is the first primary step on your journey. The first, shall we say, elevation into your higher mind to become more of your higher self, yes?
Yes.
As you then explore other aspects of your being, other dimensions of your own being, you may find that other names may come that are at the other end of the alphabet in the way that we suggested. It doesn't have to be that way, but it's very common on your planet. The idea then is that, again, if there is an agreement, then other things may come in. But remember, in all cases, when you are making a connection to other beings, it is your energy that is being simply transformed into a mirror image of the vibration of those beings. And thus, then, you are acting as a translation device. Do you understand?
Yes, I
Nobody enters you. Nobody possesses you. There's no such thing as possession because there's no room inside you for anyone but you. You understand?
Yes, I do.
And so the idea is that you're mirroring. You're matching frequencies like tuning forks, locking together. And when you lock, then you translate the same thoughts in the same way at the same time. That's what telepathy is. That's what telepathy is. That's what channeling is you're locking onto a frequency that's representative of the vibration of what you're bringing through. Now, have you begun to do this for other people?
Not yet.
Why not?
I'm still trying to get the connection right.
I have a secret for you.
Okay.
It'll be easier for you to get the connection when you're actually doing it for other people. Because if you're just doing it for yourself, you're sitting there wondering, is that my thought? Am I making a connection? I'm not sure what's going on. When you are doing it for other people, you're out of the way. The person is asking a question that pulls the information through you like grounding a circuit. Then you just become a conduit. Do you understand?
Yes.
You are not involved in the process of having to wonder what's coming through. You're allowing them with their question to pull the information through you. So it's actually easier and more accelerated to actually begin to do it for friends. And all you need to do is get out of your own way and not worry how you sound, not worry how silly you may look, not worry whether the information is accurate, not worry whether it's even gibberish coming through you. That is a stronger way because it's also an indication of your willingness to commit to the idea. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And that will help accelerate you.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. I'm wondering how many incarnations do I have here on Earth?
Before we answer you, do you understand that all lives exist simultaneously?
Yes, I do.
And therefore, when you say, how many incarnations do I have, what you're actually saying is, how many simultaneous incarnations are happening from the same oversoul that I am also an extension from?
Correct.
You
Yes,
understand?
I do.
And therefore, you're making cross connections to these other incarnations. You're not literally experiencing them one after another.
Correct. I
All
understand.
right. 157.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day. Speak up, speak up.
I am an artist. My name is Eugenia Ortiz.
All right.
And I am like that young lady
Speak
that
up,
just
speak up.
passed. I also channel artwork.
All right.
And it has messages from
Of course it does.
the ancient
All
cultures.
informational patterns do.
Right, but I sometimes don't know what all the messages mean.
You may not need to.
Until later when the people who are looking at them start seeing things like
Yes.
this one is the...
Then it happens in perfect timing, does it not?
Yes.
All right, then what more do you want? That's the way art works. Yes?
Yes.
Information comes to those when they need it best. It serves as a reflection and a mirror to help them realize things going on within them that they can then decide to expand or not. Yes?
Right, and that's part of my destiny here on Earth as well.
Well, obviously, otherwise you would be doing something else.
Exactly.
Unless you're saying that that doesn't excite you, but obviously
No, it
it does.
does.
Then that's part of your destiny. That's the hallway you have created to walk down. That's what destiny is. It's where the soul chooses a general theme that you will explore. How you go down that hallway is up to your physical free will. You can walk, run, crawl, backwards, forwards, upside down, sideways, whatever you wish. But the destiny is the theme your soul chose to explore in this life. Obviously, the idea of creative expression in this way and using art as a mirror and a reflection for others is part of that theme of exploration. Of course, it also works for you that way.
Right.
And so?
And so I guess I'm just here to share my artwork with the world and make it
Well,
better.
all right. Well, thank you. Obviously, that's obvious to you and obvious to us. There's no question here.
Yes.
It's just a statement of your truth, and we thank you for the sharing of it.
Yes, thank you. I do have one message for you.
Oh, all right.
Steve Moreau, that used to work with you in the 80s.
Yes.
He sends you love
All
and
right.
love to Isasani.
Our unconditional love as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I have two questions.
Not at that level, you don't. Speak up and be bold. They need to hear your questions.
The first question is...
Not much better. Speak up.
How did you find Darryl, or how did Darryl find you?
From the idea, linearly speaking, incarnationally speaking, I am one of the channel's future selves. He is one of my past lives. So we are actually the same soul in that context. In the idea of our civilization making contact with other civilizations, one of the prerequisites for doing so is to have an incarnation in that society in order to absorb the understanding of that world. If I didn't have any experience in another life on your world, we would be too alien to each other to understand each other. So the idea is that I have past lives, one of which is Darryl sitting before you. I am one of his future lives, and we have made this connection in order for there to be cross-communication between the idea of what you call a past life and a future life. Of course, this connection could not happen if both lives didn't actually exist simultaneously. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. What general neighborhood or star system is the Shalanaya from?
I am not allowed to tell you that yet. That will be unveiled at another place and another time. It is not the timing yet to tell you that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you.
You want to end? You back there, and then you.
Hi, Bashar.
Anna, you good day.
Hi, I'm Vivian from Boston.
Oh, all right. Vivian from Boston.
Yes, and I want to say to you that thank you so much for your last lecture in the 2014, the year of reinvention.
Yes.
I feel like I'm totally transformed and doing exactly what my true self wants to do.
Oh, well, thank you very much for making that choice, and you will continue to transform.
Yes.
Transformation never ends.
Okay, thank you. And after that lecture, I didn't have a regular vacation like I used to. You know, I wrote a letter on Christmas Day to a religious group that I've been studying their religion about spirituality.
Yes.
Okay, and basically I asked them, maybe Christ showing us at his last moment of his life, that kind of compassion and unconditional love is what we need to do.
Yes.
Is to pray, okay? Because
what is prayer to you?
Prayer to me is connecting to the oneness, to the source of creation.
One more time, a little more precisely. Mm-hmm. Prayer is not connecting to, becoming aware of your connection to.
Okay.
Because you are never disconnected from.
Okay.
And by being in the vibration of awareness of your connection to all that is, then you allow yourself to be in a state of grace, which is another way of saying a state of gratitude for what is here and now, and deep appreciation for what is here and now.
Thank you. Does
that help?
That helped very much. Basically, I basically wrote a letter and said, just maybe, you're following the footstep of Christ, doing a lot of serving people. Maybe we need to look at this last moment. What we really need to do is to have compassion for those darkness. We call them darkness, but they are actually our soul brothers and sisters.
Of course. All right, calm down.
Okay.
You don't need to get all worked up about it.
Okay.
The idea is to be excited about this, to be in a state of balanced compassion about this. And it's not so much that you need to go around saying, this is what we need to do.
Okay.
You can recognize that this may need to be done, but the point is, just be a living example of it so that others see in you that you have done it. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not doing it, why should they?
I do.
So the idea is not to tell them that they need to do it, just to do it and be a living example. Because if you're a living example of someone in their true power, believe me, you won't have to tell them a thing. You'll have to beat them off with a stick. They'll want to know how you are so happy. Do you understand?
Yes, I share that.
So you don't need to proselytize. You just need to be an example. This is actually what your Yeshua, your Christ, meant when he said, I am the way. He just meant, be like I am. Be this way.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's it. So just be this way. And you will be a living example that they can see in their lives. And then you can share whatever information they ask you to share to teach them how they can also choose to be that way. But if you approach it from the sense of desperation, then it's not really compassion. You understand? So don't be desperate about it.
Yes, I want
Just
to
be
share.
Compassionate.
I want to share with you. I got such tremendous amount of reply,
Yes.
Appreciation.
Yes.
Letting me know that it really helped them. It like dawned
All
on
right,
them, so
that's
they start
good.
praying.
It's all well
for,
and good. You can make a statement. You can make a declaration of what is true for you. We are just allowing you and others to make sure that when you make such declarations, you understand that it's all about the choice you have made. And it's not about needing anyone else to make the same choice.
Yeah.
Does that help?
That help. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
After I listen to you, instead of like doing things like say, oh, I want to move to Florida just to be away from, I feel Boston is a little bit dense in the energy.
Yes.
I actually feel like I need to stay in Boston.
Why?
Because I feel from your teaching, you said that when the negative energy is like more the separation is a membrane, it can actually pull the positive moving the other side. I said maybe I
With
should go
negative
in
beliefs,
Yeah,
yes.
yes. So
Well, it's an issue of deciding for yourself whether you are going to or running from. If going somewhere else is truly a representation of the vibration of your preference, then go to.
yes.
But if you're moving because you're running from, then in that sense, you can never escape that. Does that make sense?
Yes, I feel like I need to go in there. I feel like that's my true self, to raise the vibration, to reduce the negative.
Yet at the same time, remember that when we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement, all the components must also be done in the most exciting way you can imagine. How it is most exciting, where it is most exciting, with whom it is most exciting. Because if you're not allowing all the components to be representative of your excitement, then you're not actually acting on your highest excitement. And that's the only thing others will pick up on, is that you're forcing yourself to be in a vibration you don't prefer.
See, that's where my question is.
Yes.
Even though most people don't prefer that, I just feel like I got tremendous amount of support when I do that.
Yes.
I wrote a letter to
I
President.
understand.
Yeah.
Yet you're the one that said you wanted to go to Florida.
Yes, I was before I went to your class.
Yes.
Before I listened to you.
So you're saying that Florida was running away.
I gave up Florida. I just want to stay in Boston.
Are you staying in Boston because you're excited to stay in Boston?
I think so, but
You think so or you know so?
I know so.
Thank you.
But it's more challenging.
Of course it's more
Yes.
challenging, but isn't that more exciting?
Yes, very, very
Well,
exciting.
then there you go.
What I want to share with you is that I decided to come to see you.
Yes.
Okay, the day after I bought my air ticket, I lost my glasses and my key right in front of me.
Yes.
They're just gone.
Yes.
So, but I still say I'm going to go. This is
All right.
challenging.
And here you are.
But here I am. Okay, so that's what I want to share with you. I just
Thank you for allowing yourself to realize that there are many, many paths to manifestation, and it doesn't have to be done in the way that you expect.
One last thing I want to share with you is that you're teaching about the cycle of 9. I incorporate that in my meditation. It's been very powerful.
All right. Well, thank you for allowing that permission slip to work for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, my friend.
Andrew, you good day.
Let's see if I can ask 2 brief questions, or perhaps you can answer them fairly briefly because there are more behind me. Okay. About 2 years ago, 2 miles from this location, you did another channeling, and someone asked about for example, transcendental meditation or hypnosis or
Yes. And we talked about
binaural
permission
beats
slips.
and permission slips.
Yes.
Exactly. So why is it that sometimes people have their permission slips and it works in very short periods of time?
Yes.
And other people, it might take 20 or 30 years of practicing with their permission slip
Because
and
it's based
nothing.
on their belief system.
They seem to believe.
Seem to believe and believing, two different things.
Sometimes it happens out of the blue to them.
That's because they have a true belief, a true knowing. The idea is that knowing is above belief. Remember, knowing and action are synonymous. The things you know are true, you just do. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to believe. You don't have to wonder if you believe. You just do it because you know it's true. And there are certain areas of your life that may happen in, where other areas of your life it won't, because people have made a difference between those areas. But the idea is that when something transforms, it's because you believe or know that it can, and thus it does. If it takes longer, then either you believe it must, or it serves you that it does, somehow. That's why we created the permission slip originally, that we call the threshold of believability. Do you remember this tool?
Briefly refresh my memory.
Thank you. I will. The idea of the threshold of believability is this. Ask yourself if you believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, without a moment's hesitation whatsoever, that a certain amount of time, let's say 20 years, is more than enough time for the kind of transformation you prefer to occur. If without hesitation at all, even for a microsecond, you can say, oh yes, 20 years, that's more than enough time for that kind of transformation to occur. Then lower the amount of time. Is 10 years enough time for that transformation to occur? Oh yes, I believe, no problem whatsoever. I have no shadow of a doubt that 10 years is more than enough time for that kind of transformation to occur. Do you believe 5 years? 5 years, yes, no problem at all. How about 3? Well, maybe. As soon as you hesitate to answer absolutely, instantly, that's how long it will take with your current belief system. Then you go into the belief system and say, what would I have to believe is true in order for it to take that kind of time? Once you find that belief and have let go of that belief, take the test again and see if you can go past that mark. 3 years, not a problem, not an issue. With my new belief system, I can see how easy it would be to transform in that time. 2 years, yes, not a problem. 1 year, as soon as you hesitate again, go in and find the belief system that says it will take that long and see if you can let that go. When you have cleaned out all those beliefs, whatever time is actually left is the time it actually needs to take for you to actually experience what you prefer to experience in that particular transformational experience.
Okay. All right. And next question. Thank you on that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Let's see how I can answer it. I go to a variety of different channelers.
Yes.
And one of the channelers...
Do you go to yourself, too?
Say again?
Do you go to yourself, too? Because you and everyone is also the first and best channeler for yourself. You are always, first and foremost, your own best guide. So when you say you go to a variety of channelers, make sure you do not omit yourself as one of them.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
And so?
So you say be the example.
Yes.
So, for example, one of the channelers said, if we want to lose weight,
Yes.
we can practice forgiveness. And
That might be
forgiveness
one way.
is powerful.
That might be one
if
way.
If we want to lose 20 pounds, for example,
Yes,
we
yes.
could practice forgiveness.
Yes.
How would we practice forgiveness for it to be effective?
Because many times when people have physical weight issues, it's because they are literally waiting to be themselves. They're holding on to their energy and afraid to be who they really are because they don't believe they deserve it. They believe they're unworthy. And so when they forgive themselves for having had those negative definitions that have limited them and let those things go through self-forgiveness, then they may no longer wait. They may no longer hesitate. And by flowing the energy of their true selves through them, then they can stop waiting.
Thank you.
And they will lose weight. Make
Thank
sense?
you. All right.
Does that help?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. In many cases, you can take advantage of the wonderful synchronicities of your own language in these issues. Wait.
Hello, my name is Robert.
And good day to you.
I must say I'm very happy to hear that business about the weight because I definitely have to work on that myself. So thank you for that advice.
You are welcome. Speak up.
I must admit that I am unfamiliar with you. My apprentice only...
What a coincidence. I am unfamiliar with you.
Oh, I just love this guy, don't you? And my apprentice brought me to your attention, or you to my attention, about 3 days ago.
All right.
He couldn't really tell me a great deal about you, but I was wondering if you could... Now, you said that you were in a ship that I believe was geosynchronous above Sonora?
It's not in a geosynchronous orbit, which would be 22,300 miles above your planet, but it is holding steady above Sedona.
I like that. But my question right now is, well, say, for instance, we are here right now.
Yes.
And you are speaking, and you came through kind of like on time. Do you have a work schedule that you have an appointment book, say, for instance?
Nope. Everything with us in our civilization is synchronicity. We always know we will be at the right place at the right time, exactly when we need to be there, not a second before, not a second later.
Well, that must make it nice not to have conflicting events. But I also have another question. Are you, within your societal structure, an ambassador by order or
I am a first contact specialist, yes.
In that within the structure of your society, that's what is that your only duty?
It is my family lineage. I am also a pilot and an explorer. I am also a sculptor.
Oh, wow. I'd like to see your work, but I'm afraid you can't bring it with you. The next thing I'd like to know...
Well, you can see it in your mind if I describe one of the things.
Now?
Yes, if you wish.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right. One of the things I have created as a sculptor is what you would call a double-banded helical spiral out of a type of crystalline nanomaterial, you would probably call it, that actually spirals up from the ground to about a distance you would call 1 mile above the planet. That is one of my sculptures.
A physical sculpture?
A physical sculpture.
I saw something, but probably not as good as what it would be if I were
That's all right. You can think of the idea of a DNA spiral and you'll be close.
Excellent. The next thing I'd like to know is there on your craft a structure of command dynamics, shall we say, that exists? Do you have like a captain or a cook?
The pilots, we don't eat anymore, we don't sleep anymore, so we don't need cooks in that sense anymore. We used to eat in that way that you do, but we have evolved beyond that. We're becoming what we call quasi-physical. Nevertheless, we don't really have a hierarchical structure in the way that your planet does, but the idea is that every ship is itself a sentient being. And the idea is that the pilot of the ship, in that sense, is bonded to the ship telepathically. Thus, then, only the pilot can fly it, because only the pilot can communicate with that particular ship, which is, in a sense, a physicalized symbol of the pilot's own higher mind. Does that make sense in your language?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Quite well.
This is why, if you were to board one of our ships, you would see the idea of the so-called control console, but it would be completely blank. It would be a whitish crystalline material that would look completely devoid of any controls. That's because in the telepathic connection between the pilot and the ship, the pilot is the only one that can see the controls.
Ah, that makes perfect sense. Well, to me.
Oh, all right. Makes perfect sense to us, too. That's why we do it.
Let's see. Where else was I going to go? I'm sorry. You said that your organization was...
Organization? My civilization, in our ancient language, which we no longer really use that much, is called Sasani, meaning place of living light. Sasani being the people.
Okay. I'll have to absorb that. It's going to take me a little while.
But it is in another dimension, a slightly alternate reality from yours, another frequency from yours. But if we were to overlap our physical reality with your physical reality, you would be able to set a course to our world by going about 500 light years in the direction of your constellation of Orion.
Okay.
But you cannot see our star from your reality because we're in a different dimensional plane at a different frequency domain, just as we have to shift to your frequency domain to interact with your reality physically as well.
Yeah, actually, that was rather simple to understand.
Yes.
Now, I have another question.
Yes.
I take it that there are a number of, shall we call them species, races, or whatever, that are looking at us at this particular time.
Yes.
There was one that, again, my apprentice brought to my attention because he's always showing me things and I'm teaching him all kinds of stuff all the time. The galactic... get up here and I have a senior moment. Everything. The Galactic Federation. Have you ever heard of
what we
those?
call the Interstellar Alliance, but there are actually many different kinds of alliances, many different kinds of what you might term federations or associations or alliances. So there is actually more than one. We belong to an alliance that has obviously got members, such as ourselves, interacting with you. There are other alliances that have other members interacting with your world to some degree as well.
Well, I'm thinking that I'm getting the impression that we have in your group peoples who are trying to raise the consciousness of our humanity here on the planet. Now, are we looking at the same from just about all the others, or are we...
There are different agendas for different beings, although a large number of the beings that you are aware of have your interests at heart in terms of helping you become more of yourselves, yes.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear that, but I'm kind of worried about the ones that may be out there that don't.
But you see, that's the dichotomy. Because if you spend time focused on the idea of the negative intentions, you actually lock yourself into the frequency where you make it more probable that that's what you will experience. This is why we share with you the ideas. It doesn't really matter what anyone else's intention is. The meaning and the vibration you give to life will determine what you manifest and what you align yourself with, and thus what you experience. So the idea is it's all well and good to be aware that there might be negatively intentioned individuals, but if you start being afraid of it, you actually lock yourself into the same vibration in which they operate, and that makes it more likely you will experience them instead of someone who has your best interests.
Well, thank you very much. That was very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, this is all just vibrational physics. Like vibration to like vibration. You cannot perceive something you are not the vibration of. So if you're of a completely different frequency, then those things that are not compatible with that vibration cannot find you. You are invisible to them.
Thank you. Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My name is Noah.
Oh, all right.
I'm from Israel.
All right. Speak up, speak up.
I would like to know how you see this, the future of this country.
Well, again, remember, there is no such thing as a prediction of the future. There are an infinite number of probable future realities based on where your energy collectively decides to go. And that can be changing every moment. In general, there are certain things that a lot of you have a lot of momentum behind, a lot of energy behind, and therefore they may have a high degree of probability of becoming manifest. In other words, you may have a high degree of probability of shifting to the parallel Earth that already exists that's representative of the shift within you. That's what's actually happening. So when you say the future of the world, it doesn't really make sense to us because what you're actually doing is never changing the world you're on. You're changing the vibration within yourself and shifting to a parallel Earth that's already representative of the change you made within yourself. The world that you were on still exists and may be going down another path, but you won't be participating that path anymore if you have shifted to a reality that is of a different vibration. Does that make sense?
Yes.
First of all, the idea, however, is to answer your question more directly, is that in the way you perceive the future to exist, which is again only another version of the now, the idea is that you have a lot of momentum behind certain things, one of which is the idea of transformation, one of which is the idea of contact with other civilizations, and that's why we can say with a higher degree of probability that it seems likely, highly probable, that sometime between your year of 2025 and 2033, somewhere in there, you have a high degree of probability of actually finally having open contact with extraterrestrial civilizations on your planet, which will mean you have achieved a degree of shifting to a vibration that will make that more likely. Okay. But that's only because you have a high degree of energy momentum behind that particular probability that we can even say that that window even exists. In other words, to put it more simply, if that wasn't the case, it's likely we wouldn't be having this conversation. Make sense? Because this is a first contact scenario. One of the ways in which we make first contact with civilizations is to have these dialogues, have these discussions, share information. And we use the rate at which you take this information to heart and make it your own and change yourselves. We use that as a barometer for when you're ready for more contact.
Okay.
Because we're never going to force ourselves on you. You have to be the ones to decide that you're actually ready. And I know many of you think you are, but you're not. So relax. The timing is what it is.
Okay.
So the idea is, again, obviously you're having contact now. And that will be part of what you call the future of your world.
I meant the conflicts in the Middle East.
As I said, the idea is that you have a lot of momentum behind certain things. You can resolve them in certain ways. It is, after all, your planet, is it not?
Right.
Well, then the idea is to put out there with love and compassion actions that are representative of that transformational idea. Start sharing the ideas of self-empowerment. The only reason that conflicts exist on your planet is because people feel disempowered. They've been taught to believe they have no power. They've been taught to believe they're disconnected from source, which isn't possible. And so anyone that feels disconnected from source, disconnected from their power, will feel powerless, will feel out of control, will feel alone, will feel like a victim, will feel miserable. And if they have no connection or no idea of their connection to their own inner power or to source, then the only way they can imagine gaining power is to manipulate the external reality and force others to see things their way. Remember, you have a saying on your planet, misery loves company. It takes a victim to make a victim. So the idea is that when you see people perpetrating what you would call negative acts on others and creating conflicts around your world, those people believe they are victims and they are acting out and lashing out because they want to create as many victims as they can so they won't be alone. So they will feel connected. But you can teach them by example that they can connect in another way. You can teach them that the idea of having to force yourself on someone actually means you don't believe in the power of what you believe in. Because if you did, you would realize that the greatest power of all requires the gentlest touch. Because if it's truly powerful, it doesn't have to exert itself at all. Look at the idea of what you call creation, all that is, God. It is so powerful, so all-pervasive, you actually can believe it doesn't exist. That's how light a touch it has. Because it doesn't need to have a broader touch than that. Because it doesn't need to, because it is everything that exists. So what power does it need to exert over itself? None. So the idea is that when you teach people that they are aspects, they are projections, they are versions of all that is, of creation itself, they are self-empowered as beings, they will not need to foist their ideas on anyone, and there will be no conflict in that way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you, good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Great. Nervous a little bit.
Nervous, all right. You mean excited?
I think excitedly nervous.
All right.
I have 3 questions.
Yes.
My first question is, I find myself killing lots of time.
Killing time?
Wasting,
have you been arrested yet?
Well, wasting a lot of time.
There was a double joke in there, because to be arrested means to stop time.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting that.
All right, so you are a time killer.
Time waster.
And?
I want to be productive about my time because the way I see is that I want to make my time valuable
Well, it is, in that sense, as valuable as you make it. But the real question is, you seem to be saying that you're not necessarily acting on your highest excitement every moment that you could be.
Correct.
Well, why not? Would be the next logical question. Because if you're acting on your highest excitement, you're activating the organizing principle of synchronicity, which allows you the correct amount of time to do whatever it is that excites you. No more and no less. So if you want to fill the time appropriately, act on your highest passion to the best you can, every moment that you can, with no insistence on the outcome, and time will regulate itself, organize itself through synchronicity to be exactly what it needs to be, no more, no less.
Correct. I get that.
Do you?
Yes.
You mean you have an intellectual comprehension, but you don't get it enough to actually do it?
Yes, I have a challenge.
What is the challenge?
I do not understand the emotions of excitement.
You don't understand them?
What
does that mean?
I haven't played enough with the feeling of excitement to know what is exciting for me, I guess.
You know, when we talk about the idea of excitement, we're just using a convenient word in your language. Excitement doesn't necessarily mean that you're jumping up and down with your hair on fire.
Right.
Excitement can simply be representative of the passion to be peaceful and quiet and calm sometimes. So we're not necessarily saying you have to recognize it in the typical way most people will use that. But the idea is that whatever it is you're attracted to, whatever it is that tugs you, whatever it is that feels correct for you, that's still representative of your passion. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So at any given moment, out of all the options available to you at that moment, all you have to do is pick the one that's even just the tiniest bit more attractive to you than any other option and act on that first. For example, we will assume that you're here in this dialogue today because it excited you to be here.
Correct.
Well, that wasn't so difficult, was it?
No.
That was easy to figure out. Yes?
I think I have attachment towards the outcome. I'm thinking that.
All right, very good. Do you understand? Because this is exactly the opposite of what many people on your planet have been taught to think. What you need to understand is that having an attachment to the outcome is actually a limitation. Many people on your planet think, oh, well, I am attaching to this outcome because I know that that's the best possible outcome. And what I've already told you is that you know nothing of the sort. You have to first admit you don't know what the best outcome would be. You have to get into a space where you realize that's true. You have no idea what the best outcome might actually be. You may think you do, but you don't. Therefore, putting an attachment on a particular outcome is actually potentially limiting you from experiencing something much better than you were capable of imagining. So when you understand that attachment to the outcome is actually a limitation, and you don't prefer to be limited that way, you will stop being attached to the outcome because it will no longer make any sense to do that if you don't prefer to be limited by it and would rather have something manifest that's actually better than you thought. That's all it takes, is that understanding. It's a limitation.
Okay, now is it going to take me some time to really get that? Do
you wish it to take some time? Or do you want to understand that you understand it now?
Well, I do understand it.
But will you act like you understand it? Because remember, you can again have an intellectual comprehension of the concept, but if it's not in your behavior, you don't get it yet. If I ask you to take 3 steps forward, can you do that?
Yes.
Do that.
Right now?
Right now. No time like the present. Did you do it? Take 3 steps back to where you were. Did you do it?
Yep.
Now, why were you able to do that? You knew you could. Did you sit there and go, well, wait a minute, I have an intellectual understanding that I could take 3 steps forward. I have a belief system that I could take 3 steps forward. Or do I? I'm not sure. Let me think about that. You didn't do any of that. You just did it. Why? Because you knew you could.
I have done enough times to know that I can do it.
What you know, you do. What you know, you do. If you're not doing it, you don't know it. You can assume that it's all because of the many times you did it before, but that's also not really true. Because you just know in the moment you can do it regardless of whether you ever did it before. I'm talking about being in the present. In the present, you just know you can do it. That's all it takes. But if it's not in your behavior, then you really don't know it. You don't understand it completely yet. You haven't made it true for yourself. And you would simply need to ask yourself, what's the resistance to allowing that to be true? That's where you need to get in touch with those beliefs that prevent you from allowing that concept that you know this and can just do this to be true. So what stops you from allowing the idea that you know how to do this to be true? And we can go back to what we said earlier. If you do, in fact, allow yourself to move forward in this way, as fully as you want, as fully as you need to act on your passion, to act on your excitement, are you afraid that something negative might happen if you do?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Well, how about the bottom of your head? What are you afraid might happen if you simply allow yourself to move forward in the way that you prefer in life? What are you afraid might happen?
I think that I would not know the step that I have to take. Like, I think that I have to know beforehand. I need to. And
do you understand that knowledge only comes with experience? So how can you know anything about the step until you take it and find out?
Yep.
You understand? You're working it backwards.
Right.
You need to reverse this. You have to take a step to know anything at all about the next step to take. You will know nothing about any of the steps if you don't take the first one.
Is there where your faith or being...
It's not faith.
Right.
It's understanding how things work.
Okay.
I'm not telling you anything that requires the idea of faith. All you have to do is wrap your mind around the fact that what I'm talking here is physics. It's just the way reality works.
Got it.
You have to take an action before you understand the consequences of the action or any information that's connected to it that leads to the next step. If you don't take the step, you go nowhere.
Okay.
You learn nothing. You learn by doing, not by sitting around thinking about doing it until you think you know enough to do it. The moment you actually do it had nothing at all to do with the amount of time you sat around thinking about doing it. It's just that you finally got to a point where you were tired of waiting and finally decided to just do it.
Yep.
Yes?
Yes.
So until you are tired enough, you won't do it. But when you get tired of waiting, you'll do it.
Got it.
Simple as that. And I guarantee you, if you really stay aligned with your true self, by definition, nothing really negative can happen. You may manifest some things you don't prefer, but as we already discussed, you can always use what you don't prefer in a way that you do. So it makes no difference what manifests, because you will always be capable of deriving a beneficial effect from it by simply remaining in a positive state, knowing that that's what will happen. Because that's the way it works. What you put out is what you get back. That's the law. You can't change that law. What you put out is what you get back. So if you put something out that you don't prefer, you can't get anything back but things you don't prefer. If you put something out that you do prefer, it won't matter what comes back, because you'll be able to transform anything into what you prefer it to be. Even if the form doesn't change, the effect will be what you prefer. And why? Because you said so. Why? Because you knew so. That's why. There is nothing in creation that is capable of contradicting you. Nothing. You get to say what works for you. That's the whole point of being unique as a reflection of all that is. You get to say who you really are. You get to fulfill the purpose of being yourself. So what you say goes. You're in control. You're in charge. Any procrastination is simply based on your decision to procrastinate. There is actually nothing stopping you from moving forward except you.
Okay.
And what you believe to be true about yourself. So if what you believe to be true about yourself isn't working, find some things to believe about yourself that do work for you, and those will be just as real an experience as anything you used to believe to be true, because the universe will support you no matter what you choose.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Yes.
My second question is along the line of self-worth.
Yes.
I have this general tendency to leave.
You have what?
I have a general tendency.
What? We are selectively deaf to certain words because no one has a tendency. You are making a choice.
Yeah, okay.
You see, if you say I have a tendency, then that means it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do to change that. That's what I have a tendency means. But if you say I am making a choice to do something I don't prefer, at least you're in the driver's seat. And then you can logically say, well, why would I choose to do something I don't prefer? Now you have something to work with. If you say, well, I have a tendency to do this, I have a habit of doing that, it's just a pattern, I can't help it. You have no control, you have nothing to work with. You have no way of changing that because you cannot change what you don't own. You're saying, it's not me. Of course it's you. You're making a choice, but only because you were taught to make those kinds of choices. You can learn to make different choices.
Yep.
So, make different choices. Don't assume it's a tendency.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Does that help?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, you hear a lot of these things, but for some reason, never mind.
For some reason?
Never mind.
For your reasons.
Yes.
If you don't prefer your reasons, change your reasons.
Okay.
Is that reasonable?
That's reasonable.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have what you need. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Just absorb.
Greetings, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Shivai.
Shivai.
I am super excited to be here standing in front of you. Thank you so much.
Super excited.
So I have a question about Ilan.
Yes.
Is he still with you? Is he still out there?
We're all out there.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wonder about, I know your energy insignia symbol is the black pyramid with the light blue light behind it on a black background.
One of them, yes.
One of them.
Yes.
So while I've been meditating lately, I've been seeing an insignia that is similar. It's a black pyramid. The edges of the three-dimensional pyramid are lit up with bright white light.
Yes.
And at the apex tip of the pyramid, there's a beam of light that goes straight out of it.
Yes.
And across that apex is like a very light rainbow.
Yes.
So every time I close my eyes to meditate and while I'm falling asleep, I keep seeing this symbol over and over again. I'm wondering, are you familiar with
Oh, absolutely.
I know you don't want to unwrap my presents for me.
Oh, no.
Could you give me a hint?
It's the symbol, your interpretation of the symbol that actually represents the first contact specialists.
Huh. What do I do with that?
I suppose you could get in contact with yourself?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. So that's what I've been practicing.
Oh, all right.
So keep doing that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Use it however you wish.
All right.
Things will come to you. You'll be inspired. But it's generally a representational symbol of the line of first contact specialists.
Oh, my goodness.
If you want to call it a guild, I suppose you can.
Wow. That makes me feel so special. Thank you.
It does?
It does. Even more special. Thank you.
All right.
As a permission slip, I have a little morning ritual I'd like to share with everyone. And I would like
We assume that you mean MORNING and not MOUR.
Correct.
All right.
In the AM time period
All right.
of our day. What I do is I fill a glass of water and I put it on a sheet of paper.
You fill a glass of water? How can you fill it if there's already water in it? You mean you fill a glass?
In the glass.
With
yes.
water?
With water, yes.
Thank you.
Fill the glass with water. I place it on a piece of paper where I've written a gratitude prayer, giving thanks for love and abundance and wealth.
Yeah.
And I put 3 crystals around the paper.
Yes.
And I put my hands around the glass and I say Om, and I give, and then I drink it. And as I drink and sip it, I'm giving thanks for the water.
All right.
Could you tell us, physically, in physical reality, what is happening in that process?
You are, with your permission slip, allowing yourself to alter the vibratory matrix of the water in a way that's more aligned with the vibration you wish to match in life, so that it acts, in a sense, as a booster shot.
I feel that.
Now, I have a riddle for you.
Okay.
How many eggs can you put in a 1 foot square, 1 foot deep empty basket?
None.
Incorrect. How many eggs can you put in a 1 foot square, 1 foot deep empty basket?
100. I'm not sure.
Nope.
Want me to keep guessing numbers?
Does anyone want to take a guess? Thank you. Did you hear that?
None. Right.
1.
1.
Because after you put 1 in, it's not an empty basket.
Okay. I get it.
There is purpose in giving you this riddle. Think about how to look at things from a new point of view.
Okay.
And you will always find the solution. As you say, often, think outside the box. But in fact, what we're telling you is, there is no box.
Okay. Definitely going to have to dream on that one.
Oh, all right, if you insist.
And last but not least, again, prefacing with, don't want you to unwrap my presents by any means, but hints I love.
Don't worry, I won't.
I love the hints. I've been strengthening my connection with my guardian angels. One specifically, I like to call her Lakshmi, but I totally know that's not her name, if she even has a name. But could you tell me a little bit more about my guides or my personal spiritual or guardian angels that hang out with me?
How many eggs?
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm giving you the hint in the best way we can.
Okay.
Without opening your presents. Okay. So the more you ponder that, the more you will understand the answer to that question.
Okay. All right. I'm put that one on hold for dream time as well. Can I ask another question?
That was a question.
I know, it was another question. Okay. So can you tell me about other people or beings that may be connected to my same oversoul that are actually here on Earth?
No.
Have I ever been in contact with a UFO or other beings?
Yes.
How many times?
More than 3.
Recently?
Recent is relative.
Does it happen while I'm sleeping?
Sometimes.
Can I find those memories through
You
meditation?
can.
Would you suggest it?
I would not suggest anything.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I deeply appreciate you.
As do we of you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasant dreams. Sometimes it is simply necessary for us to be cryptic.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
Ciao. I don't have a question in particular. I was wondering what is your definition of love and how you live
What
that.
you call, and by the way, that sounded suspiciously like a question. What you call love, what we say in a sense is unconditional love, is the vibratory frequency of existence itself, and love is your translation of that frequency in physical terms. Did that make sense?
Yes,
It's the
makes
signature
sense.
frequency of existence itself.
So it's much more than emotion or feeling.
Your emotional feeling is your translation and interpretation of that frequency in your reality.
I need to translate better.
Well, you understand how someone might say something in one language, but you have to translate it into your own language to understand it fully?
Yeah.
So there are vibrations, there are energies in creation that you only have a certain amount of ways of experiencing in your physical reality. So the way you experience in your physical reality, the vibrational frequency of energy of existence itself is through the sensation you call love. That's your physical interpretation of that energy of existence.
So it's part of what we call life in itself.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes.
Is there something else? Do you have any more not questions?
Yeah, I have many. I have I wonder in, sometimes we refer to dimension like angels, avatar.
Yes. Different levels of existence, different levels of consciousness.
So there are different frequency of love.
Different
they come
frequencies
to us.
of love, yes.
So
different reflections of all that is.
And when you say, I think before, that you are in a state of pure synchronicity.
We operate in pure synchronism, yes, similar idea, yes.
So in that state, it means that the vibration of love is manifest
Yes.
in everything you do.
Yes, 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 yes.
I want to go there.
Your guest. We're not stopping you. And many of you do visit us in your dream time.
In a dream time.
Yes. But you can come to our world if you understand how to make the dimensional shift into our reality. Can be done.
And maybe that's bring me to another question wondering.
All right, another not question. Yes.
Sometimes I work with Reiki and with energy, and a lot of our work is based on the chakra system, which
permission slips, permission slips, permission.
All permission slip. Okay.
All tools, all techniques, all rituals, all objects are all permission slips. What you attract with your belief system that says, I can use this to give myself permission to circumvent my present belief system and become more of who I am.
Yeah.
But you're the one doing it.
Yeah. And the bottom line is reach that level of pure synchronicity that is life itself.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's very special.
So are you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So my question is, it seems to me like we are here, we're consciousness streaming through our body, and we're becoming aware of our ability to become conscious creators and to gain a good handle on our belief system.
Yes, in general, although I would make one minor adjustment to that phrase.
Okay.
Your consciousness is not coming through your body. Your body is a projection of your consciousness.
Okay, so it's, okay. And so as we get a good handle on our belief systems,
yes.
And is there an optimal state of belief systems to have where we will be able to have?
Yes, the ones that are relevant for you to be who you truly are. Whatever they may be. Remember that even when you divest yourself of all negative belief systems, you will still continue to divest yourself of any belief systems that are no longer relevant for who you need to be at that moment. They don't have to be negative to let them go. They can be positive, they just simply no longer serve you in who you are becoming.
So can you give us an idea of, as we become, what could we look forward to, if we really...
Pure synchronicity.
Pure synchronicity.
Yes.
And is that like the purpose of experiencing life and this
The purpose
human experience?
is to just experience it.
Just to experience.
Experience is the purpose. To know yourself more and more and more. It's infinite. It'll never end. It never began. It just is. So know yourself in all the ways that you prefer to. And keep doing that because it's more experience. It's fun.
It is fun.
Yes.
Thank you, Bashar.
Do you need another purpose?
No, it's just, it's...
No, it's
when you're
just
thinking
what?
about it, the mind, it's just stretching the mind so far
Yes.
out. Like, how far can we think? What is the ability of our belief systems? How much can we believe? And what
Well,
type of
your beliefs have to be relevant for the arena that you're playing in. Yes?
Yes.
But when you go beyond that arena, you will have other things you can know and other things you can experience that are relevant for that particular level, that particular playground. There are some things you simply won't know on this level because you don't need to. But when you go to different levels, you will know whatever is relevant for that level. Yes?
in its infinite levels?
Yes.
Okay.
Does that help?
That does help. Thank you, Bashar.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I had a dream where I looked up and saw a bunch of spaceships.
Yes.
And one
I
came down to
sometimes
me.
have that without being asleep because I don't sleep anymore.
That's awesome. So one came down to me, and the being that came out, I ran up and gave him a big hug, and I was crying and sobbing, and it felt like I really had missed him.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, so I've connected with him through meditation.
Yes.
Since, and I'm wondering if you can tell me what race he is.
You're dealing with another hybrid race, primarily what we would label the Yael. In any such encounters that are going on between you and extraterrestrial beings, you will usually find that you will have at least one counterpart in that society that will be involved in the encounters so that they feel familiar and are a reflection of more of you. So in a sense, it's like meeting another version of yourself.
Okay, so he is my counterpart?
Yes.
Awesome. So in the dream, I got on a ship and went out to space and saw the Earth get really small. So was that physical or was it?
Well, yes and no. You have to understand that many of these encounters actually happen in a slightly shifted version of physical reality that allows you to experience more than you otherwise might in your typical physical reality. So yes, it was physically real, but not in your physical dimension exactly.
Okay. Do I have hybrid children?
Yes.
How many have a significant amount of my DNA?
Again, the average is usually about 15 to 17.
Okay, so you've mentioned the possibility of hybrid children living on Earth as soon as 2022. Is that still accurate?
No.
No? Okay.
I said the window of open contact is between 2025, 2033, maybe 2040. I did not say the hybrid children would be landing at the beginning. Somewhere in there, things will be set up so that they can begin to stay longer and longer and longer on your planet in certain areas that are sequestered and safe for them to acclimate and adapt to your society as your society acclimates to them. But the idea is that some of them have been on your planet and do come to your world from time to time in secret places that are set aside for them so they can practice what it's like being on Earth. Because many things that you take for granted are very alien to them. So they have to learn the idea of how to fit into your society to some degree, although they won't go all the way with it because human society must also adapt to them to some degree as well. But they're willing to learn, and they're quite fascinated by some things that you don't even really think about, like eating food off a plate with a fork. Why? Why not just take the food and put it in your mouth with your hand? So they have a lot of things to sort of learn to fit in a little bit. But they do that on your planet from time to time in houses and apartments that you don't necessarily even know that they happen to be in. They might even be right next door.
Wow. Okay, so I wanted to talk about being a bridge to the higher dimensions.
Yeah.
So when I'm meditating and I can converse and see in my mind my hybrid children,
Yes.
what reality is that? And what does that look like on their end for?
Well, again, you're communicating through that slightly altered reality that we just mentioned. And therefore, they're receiving it, in a sense, sort of telepathically from you.
Okay. So is it helpful or important to be making these emotional and like relationship connections with them?
Is it helpful and important to you?
Yes.
Well, then the answer is yes.
Okay.
Because they will feel the importance to you. And that will allow them to begin to identify and empathize with those feelings and understand them more clearly.
Okay. So earlier this week, I had a really powerful meditation where I felt like I was speaking with you. And was that really you, or was it just...
You're just tapping into the vibration that you recognize as our collective consciousness through your own higher mind. So what you were doing, which is what you're doing right now, was speaking a little bit more clearly to your own higher mind, using us as a filter or a mask to do so.
Okay. And what is my vibration?
Are you sure you want to know? Because remember, as soon as you ask, it goes down.
Well, mostly my question was, I've really been meditating a lot, and it's felt really good. It's been
all right. That's fine.
My highest passion. And
but
I'm
are you
wondering...
taking actions as well?
Yes.
All right. Because remember, that's the language of physical reality.
Okay.
Not just meditating. You have to act to be in the world. So, do your meditations help you take more actions in the direction of your passion?
Yes.
All right. Are you sure? Didn't sound very convincing.
I've been taking a lot of action the last year.
Yes.
And it's felt like I've been really just outside and not really going inside. And so I've been feeling really called to go inside.
All right. You can balance it out. That's fine.
Yeah, I am excited to take more action
All right.
soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, beloved Bashar.
And good day to you.
Good day to you.
Speak up, please, so that all may hear you.
I've been listening to you many years ago, and I'm very grateful to be here.
All right.
I've been doing a lot of work inwardly for self to grow and to become more of who I am.
Yes.
And I'm creating a sacred of meditation in my house with people that coming over.
All right.
And I do believe with water and air and all the 7 things that you've been provide tonight. The thing is that I've been asking is about my son, that he's back in my house and he stay all night with the heater, and he doesn't really drink enough water. And if you have a way for me to
what are you asking? Should you tie him down and force feed him?
No.
Well,
just that.
Have you had conversations about why, and does he actually feel like he's not getting enough?
He would listen to others, but not to his parents, I guess.
Have you had a conversation about why he doesn't listen to your advice?
Usually kids don't listen to their parents.
That's not the case on my planet.
I know, but here it's a little bit different.
Well, I understand that. But do you also understand he may have his own path in life?
I totally agree with you.
All right.
The thing is that, like you said...
I have a suggestion for you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's call it the Santa Claus effect. Yes?
Yes.
Leave a pitcher of water and a glass out for him when you go to bed. Maybe in the night he will sneak over and have some water without you necessarily knowing about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes? Just give him the option. Don't tell him what to do.
No, and you're absolutely right. I do that. I just put...
But you leave water out?
Yes, I do put water.
When you're not around?
When I'm not around?
Yes, when you go to bed,
yeah,
leave water out.
Okay.
So that you're not around, so that he can have it when you're not around.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, and for the heater that is a whole night long, and there's no air in this room, no windows open, nothing.
Is he cold?
He always said that he's cold.
All right.
but then there's no air at all for all
There
night.
must be some, or he would suffocate. Remember, that's the first basic need, and without air, you'll probably be dead in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, but I can see that he has like the eyes swollen. I can see he's very fatigued and.
All right. Well, have you had a conversation about the fact as to whether or not he enjoys that feeling?
I do, but as I said, that he doesn't listen to his
I didn't
parents.
say that you had to say something he had to listen to. Okay. I said, have you had a conversation about whether or not he enjoys that effect?
If he's enjoying that?
Yes. Ask him. Look, your eyes are kind of puffy and swollen and so on and so forth, and you seem very tired. Do you enjoy that feeling? I'm just curious.
Okay, I will ask him
You
that
see?
for sure.
Then it's not about him listening to you. It's about you paying attention and giving him options to respond in the way that he prefers to respond.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. And again, he doesn't have to answer. Just pose the question. He'll go through it in his mind, and maybe he'll decide that he needs to make different choices to have different consequences. Mm-hmm. But you're being the one that's imaginative enough to simply get the ball rolling in his own mind without making him think he has to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. You need to be a little bit more imaginative, and we don't mean this in a negative way, a little bit more sneaky.
Oh.
So that you can inspire him to think about things without him feeling that he is being told what to do.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Thank you.
You just have to exercise your curiosity. Because again, if that really is his path, if that's something he believes he needs to do, then the only thing coming from you in your unconditional love and support is, well, I'm curious. Do you find that sensation interesting or enjoyable? Or let me know. I'm kind of curious. And then walk away. You don't even have to finish the conversation.
Thank you very, very much, Bashar.
You're very, very welcome.
There's anything else that you see from what I do for self, doing work and...
Are you acting on your passion to the best you can with
Yes.
no insistence or assumption on the outcome and remaining in a positive state no matter what manifests?
Yes.
Don't lie.
I didn't hear the whole question, but I understand.
All right. Then that's just my curious question.
Hello, Bashar.
Andrew, good day.
I have a few questions.
Speak up.
I have these dreams where I feel shapes in my body.
You feel shapes in your body?
Yes.
All right, different energy patterns.
Suppressing on my body. And I'd like to know if every time I have these dreams, I connect with the Greys.
Well, you connect with different things depending on the pattern.
The most recent one I had was round shapes. And other times I've had square shapes.
The round shapes may be more representative of either the hybrids or even your spirit guides. Square shapes can be representative to some degree of the Greys and a few other things. It just depends on the patterns. You're translating the energy connection into these ideas of shapes. That's a very interesting way to interpret them.
Was my family chosen as a whole?
You mean, did you choose yourself?
To connect.
Do you mean,
with,
did you choose yourselves?
Yes.
Yes.
A young lady mentioned earlier if she was talking to you. Is your response applied? Does it apply to everyone?
In general, yes. There may be some exceptions, but they're very rare because it's not that anyone needs to talk to us unless we have these particular kinds of encounters. The idea is that it's training you to learn to talk to your own higher mind. You may be using our vibration to make it easier for you to do so because you're familiar with our vibration in these encounters. So we give that vibration for you to use so that it puts you more strongly in touch with your own higher minds, which is the point. Now, sometimes, yes, maybe you connect to other members of our society or the general collective consciousness pattern of our particular reality to aid and assist you. If you wish to do that, that's fine.
But the basic point of these conversations and getting you used to our frequency is to help you make stronger connections to your own higher mind.
Correct. And I've been having a little trouble with listening to my higher mind.
You mean you're having a challenge?
Yes.
All right. But are you acting on your passion as best as you can? Hesitation usually means no. All right, now pay attention. It's not difficult at all to listen to your higher mind. Let me again explain it this way. The higher mind communicates with you in terms of energy. Do you understand?
Yes.
Your body interprets that energy as the sensation called passion, excitement, curiosity, attraction. That's actually the way your body interprets the messages from your higher mind. Because your higher mind is basically saying, do this now. Act on this now. This is your path. This is who you are. It comes in energy, but your body interprets it as the sensation called passion and excitement. So when you act on it, you're responding to the higher mind saying, I heard you. But that's why you have to speak in the language of physical reality, which is action. Otherwise, you're not responding to it. You're saying, I didn't hear you, if you're not taking action on it. And therefore, if the higher mind has given you an opportunity to act on your passion that you're not paying attention to because you're not acting on it, why should it send you more? If you're not taking the action, it will seem as if the conversation has stopped because it's waiting for you to take action on what it's already given you. Because there's no point in giving you more opportunities if you're not acting on the ones it's already given you. Yes?
Yes.
So if you want to feel that flow and feel the connection that is there, it's important to act on your passion so that you can connect in your awareness with your higher mind and get more opportunities from it and be more excited to do more things, and that will continue the conversation. But you're stopping the conversation if you're not actually taking action on what it's already given you.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping?
Yes.
All right. So what could you be doing that you're not doing?
I'm taking more action.
On what?
On
I'm asking you specifically.
doing,
What would you rather be doing that you're not doing?
making the right decisions for myself.
You're not really responding. I'm asking you for a physiological expression. I understand that what you're working on is also part of the idea of creating your own balance in life.
Yes.
But I'm actually asking you, how do you want to creatively express this in physical terms in your reality? Is there something that you would prefer to be doing outwardly that you're not doing as a creative expression? Painting, writing, singing, dancing? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, is there something?
Yes.
What?
Dancing.
All right. Why aren't you? What are all the reasons you're creating for not doing that? Come on, spit them out. Number one.
Time.
You don't have time. Is that what you're saying?
I do have time. I'm just telling myself I don't.
Speak up.
I do have time, but I'm telling myself I don't.
And why would you do that? What are you afraid of? Come on, what are you
school.
afraid of?
I'm a student.
So?
And
A
I
student
need
of
to,
what?
to study.
I thought you said that you were excited about dancing.
Yes.
So again, you're not yet giving me the reason why you're not doing it. You just said, you know it's an excuse that you don't have time. So
Yes.
you know you have time, so why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you acting on it to the best you can? Why? Why? Come on.
I will work on it.
No. Answer the question. You're not getting off that easy. Why? What are you afraid of if you move forward?
I don't really know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. What are you afraid will happen? Come on. Dig deep. Imagine yourself moving forward.
Yeah.
What does dancing mean to you? Are you talking about taking a dance class? Are you
No.
talking about doing a performance? What are you talking about?
I just like to go out and dance.
Where?
At anywhere, clubs, parties.
And so do you?
I do, but not as much as I'd like to.
And again, Why not?
Because
Yes.
I don't take action on it.
All right, but why not? What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of.
Come on, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of looking silly? Are you afraid of people judging you? What are you afraid of?
Neither.
Then why don't you do it? If that's what you're saying you'd be excited to do,
yes.
Why aren't you doing it? What's the reason? We have all the time in the world.
I mean.
What's the reason? Give me a reason. Doesn't have to be the reason. Give me a reason why you're not doing it.
Because I take the time to, rather than to go out to go dance, I take the time to study.
Can't you do both?
Yes, but lately I've been having trouble managing my time.
I see. Usually, again, when people experience a challenge managing their time, it usually means it's because you're doing something you don't prefer to do, or you're doing something you do prefer to do, but not in a way you prefer to do it. Because remember, what's the second tool in the kit? The organizing principle of synchronicity. What that means is, if you do the things that you really are passionate about doing in the way you're passionate about doing it, synchronicity organizes the time for you. You don't have to manage it. It's automatically managed by synchronicity, bringing you the opportunity. It lasts just exactly as long as it needs to, and then it gives you an indication that there's something else you need to be doing that's also another representation of your passion. So you need to examine all the things you're actually choosing to do. Examine honestly whether or not they really are representative of your passion, or if they are, examine whether you could do them in a way that is more representative of your passion other than the way in which you're doing them. So when you say things like, well, I need to study, are you studying about something that you're passionate about or not?
Yes.
All right. Is there a way you could go about studying that is actually more exciting than the way you're doing it?
Yes.
Then do that. Remember, when we talk about acting on your excitement, all the components have to be in alignment. What it is you're doing, how it is you're doing it, with whom you're doing it, where you're doing it, why you're doing it. It all has to be aligned. So if any one of those components isn't representative of the most exciting way you could be doing it, where you could be doing it in the most exciting place, with whom you could be doing it, then you're not following your excitement. All the components have to be part of the holistic system. So, if you can open up your imagination and start doing what you're doing that is only representative of your excitement in the way that would be most exciting, then everything will start organizing itself, and you will find you have exactly the amount of time you need for every single expression of your passion. It'll self-organize. It leaves nothing out.
Yes.
Is this helping?
Yes.
All right. Can you wrap your mind around that?
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Yes. Is acting on my passion, will it help me not, because I'd like to also learn how to swim.
Go ahead.
And
do you
but
think
I'm
that
very
swimming would be
fearful
left out of that formula? If it's part of your passion, why would it be left out of that formula?
Right.
Didn't we say that it leaves nothing relevant out?
Right. But I'm very afraid of drowning.
You are afraid of drowning. Well, if you learn to swim, you probably won't drown.
Right. But
and so what if you did drown? Oops. Again, pay attention. Organizing principle means everything is organized, which means if suddenly you are learning to swim and you find that you're having a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of a challenge, guess what might happen? If you're following your passion and it's not your time to die, guess what might happen? Gee, someone will show up to help you.
Right.
What a shock. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if it is the time you chose to pass into spirit, then it's your choice. Who cares? You'll still be fine. You'll just be swimming in the ethers. But if it's not your time that you've chosen, then synchronicity will bring you what you need to allow you to experience an expression of your passion. If that means someone may come along to help you, or something else may happen that allows you to know that you'll be all right, including an awareness of common sense. Yes?
Yes.
Because common sense on your planet isn't common. So in other words, don't allow yourself to get caught up in things that actually don't make sense. If you're learning to swim, don't start in the deep end. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So let certain things simply be obvious. And that will be in alignment with your passion.
Yes.
Don't get confused about the idea of, well, it's my passion to learn to swim, so I'm just going to jump into a roaring ocean in the deepest part of it when I don't know how to swim. Then you're not really following your passion. Not really. Because you're not allowing yourself some common sense in there as well. You follow me?
Yes.
You're actually making a choice to increase the probability of death. Now, some people can do that and be okay, but that's an exciting path that they've chosen. If it's not your path, it's not your passion to push yourself to the limit, knowing that you want that level of challenge, that is part of your path, then don't do that. Know who you are, know yourself, and then everything will be fine. Yes?
Yes.
It's all right to take it a step at a time. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to push yourself beyond what it is your belief system says is appropriate for you. Remember, you're all eternal beings. What's your hurry? Yes?
Yes.
All right. But do give yourself an opportunity to act on your passion when you can.
Yes.
And then eventually it will prove to you that it always works. All right?
Perfect. Once again, allow us to extend to each and every one of you our deep appreciation at being allowed to communicate through this link in this way at this time. Each and every time you allow us to communicate to your civilization this way, it affords us an opportunity to see through you that many more ways that the infinite has of expressing itself in creation. So we thank you for this gift, and we would like to touch upon a quick idea regarding the infinite this day of your time. We would like to entitle this short idea, The Bones of God. Allow us to address the concept that in what you call nature, there are obviously certain principles that you observe and that can be rendered, shall we say, down in their most basic form to mathematical equations, mathematical proportions, ratios, and relationships of one or many things to another one or many things. All of these things you may call laws of creation, laws of nature, forces of nature, and so forth, are, when viewed on a very basic level, simply really nothing more than relationships of one thing to another, or one group of things to another group of things, or any combination you wish to label it as being in that same manner. This relationship, this mathematical, proportional relationship, is a description of the template, so to speak, that underlies all that you understand physiological reality to be. It's a kind of web, a kind of tapestry made out of conceptual thread that, when interacting with itself, forms a geometric pattern and a variety of geometric shapes, concepts, and experiences. This template can, in some senses, be called the bones of God, since it is the underlying structure, this geometric pattern, this concept, this idea relationship, is the underlying concept upon which all physical experiences hang, in which all physiological experiences occur. It is the setting, it is the stage, it is the very fabric out of which any experience in physical reality is made, is built upon. It is substance and form. It is shadow and light. It is everything you perceive the physical universe to be. When you get a handle, as you say, when you can focus down into that level, this template level, the skeletal level of physical existence, you can then utilize this perception of this template, this primary fundamental framework, as a key to unlock the idea of what physical reality is capable of being, of what you are capable of experiencing. This key has gone by many names in your society, in your history. It is called the Philosopher's Stone. It is called the Merkaba. It is called the Tree of Life. It is called the Kabbalah. It is called many things, but it is all the same idea. In many of what you call now upon your planet, the appearance of the crop circles, the appearance of different kinds of geometric formations in the fields of grain that grow upon your planet, you are seeing one example of shadows, of slices of this template, this underlying template, the bones of God, if you will, the bones of creation. And when you can learn to really vibrate in accordance to the frequency of this inner template, to match its vibrational frequency, then you can really utilize this energy, utilize this key, as we have said, to truly unlock reality in a new and profound way that allows space and time to become very, very, very nebulous, very malleable, very plastic, can be rearranged by what you might call intention and mental energy much more easily when you utilize this core key vibration. Getting in touch with this core key vibration, being able to perceive the skeletal framework of existence, the bones of God, simply involves deeper appreciation, deeper attention to these proportions, ratios, and relationships, mathematical constructs that exist throughout nature, that again have gone by many names. But in your own unique way, each of you as an individual can approach this idea and have your own unique relationship to this idea and interpret this idea in any way, shape, or form that suits you best. You can interpret it through vibration in song, through visual vibration artistically, through words, through actions, through construction, architecturally. Any number of ways can capture the resonance of this underlying template, and when it is so captured or represented or symbolized or manifested, it thus does vibrate in harmony with this core template by whatever form you choose to represent it, by whatever symbol you use. And in vibrating in harmonic resonance with this core template, with the skeleton of creation, all who then become exposed to that manifestational piece, no matter in what way they are exposed to it, no matter what senses are used to perceive it, they then can take upon themselves that core resonance and allow that core resonance to unfold within their imagination, within their mind's eye, within their intuition in such a manner as to allow them to find, through their own inspiration, what method of expression would best suit that individual in order to unfold their particular manifestation of this underlying structural template of the bones of God. So, explore this concept wholeheartedly. There are any number of different ways to do so, as we have said. whatever resonates within you the strongest, be it any form of art, any form of creative expression whatsoever, and sometimes even what you would call logical construct. Allow yourself to feel and appreciate the beauty of this beautiful relationship concept that exists throughout all of physiological reality, that underlies every experience, every object, every person, place, and thing, every dimension, every concept that you can possibly have within the idea of your universal reality is all tied to this one template, the bone, the skeleton of the infinite, in that sense. And in a very real way, thus, you can understand that this framework, this tree of life, this Kabbalah, this Merkaba, this form, this geometric pattern, is, therefore, the most basic manifested representation in physical reality of the infinite. It is the seed itself that blossoms into every other thing that exists in your universal reality. So trace it all back. See the commonality, see the connectedness in the templates and the patterns of all things, and you will see, like an X-ray with your senses, the skeletal framework of all that is. We thank you for allowing us to reflect this notion from this particular point of view, this day of your time. In return for the gift now that you are allowing us to experience of you, through this link, through this sharing, I ask, in what way may I and those of my civilization be of service to you? Say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. We will, first of all, thank each and every one of you once again for the allowance of this transmission through this particular gateway at this time. Once again, each and every time such a communication is allowed and such a communication is created, it affords our civilization an opportunity to experience through each and every one of you that many more ways that the infinite has of expressing itself within creation, and this expands our understanding of the infinite, and so we thank you for this gift. We are aware that this day of your time, we will commence with a slightly different format, and as such, we will extend to you our appreciation for the co-creation of this particular transmission and communication, and we invite you to simply proceed in whatever way, shape, or form you so desire with this dialogue. Yes, good day. Perfect, and you? All right.
I would like to introduce myself. I'm Miranda.
All right, if you say so.
And I have the honor of having you on my show. It's Miranda's Mysterious Universe.
All right, we understand the context.
Okay, I have great respect for what you do, and I want to give you the opportunity to speak from wherever you feel that you need whatever information. However, I have a few questions. My show is on extraterrestrial mothers, and I understand you can identify the hybrid mothers.
From time to time,
okay,
we will have communication and conversation with individuals who may be having such experiences, yes.
Okay, may I ask you, myself, I have had a lot of experiences. I don't know if I need to tell you about myself. You probably can
we can, in many cases, simply scan the frequencies that we are perceiving in the communication, and we can, as you say, go from there.
Okay.
You can simply, if you wish, proceed directly to whatever question you deem to be appropriate.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to ask you, continuing the context of my show on hybrid mothers and identifying them.
Yes.
I had an experience at one time in my life, and I had a possibility that I had experienced being a hybrid mother.
Yes.
And I want to know if that is true,
Yes.
if that has happened.
Yes.
Would you elaborate?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
The idea simply is that, of course, like many such individuals, you have had many such experiences. In fact, the contact will usually begin in childhood and even sometimes prior to birth, with the preparation of what you would call the fetus, the adjustments of the energy, the adjustments of genetics, and so forth, that will allow there to be a representation of the agreement that your soul, your spirit made with regard to your eventual participation in this agenda in your physical life. And so in that context, you have had many such experiences, especially once you became of what you would call childbearing age. Thus, then, there have been many such occasions wherein your genetic material, along with other individuals' genetic material, was utilized for the purpose of the creation of hybrid beings, many of whom are still in the stage that you would call children.
Thank you very much. Do you have any information on the particular child or children that I have that you wish
There
to
is
share?
some. Do you have specific questions about them, or would you simply allow us in that sense to proceed?
I'll allow you to proceed.
All right. One moment. One moment. One moment. One moment. We are perceiving, in connection with your particular energy, between 5 to 10 major connective children. Now, we say major connective children, and this refers to the idea that, of course, when the extraterrestrial species that your people refer to as the Greys, for these are the main species involved in the hybridization, when this species utilizes your genetic material or anyone's genetic material, there may be varying degrees of your original genetic material that wind up in any given hybrid child. You follow me so far?
Yes, I do.
Therefore, those that would encompass above 50% of your DNA will be within this initial group of what we are calling 5 to 10 children. There may be many others that may have fragments of your genetic material, but we will not necessarily immediately consider them to be yours since they are below 50%. Do you understand?
Below 50%.
Of your genetic material.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Therefore, these 5 to 10 represent in general those that have the closest genetic bond to you in terms of the utilization of your genetic material in their creation.
Is there anything in particular why they chose to have so many kids with me?
This is an average amount.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. Do they plan for me to ever have human children, or just?
They have no say in the idea of whether you decide to have human children. That is not part of their agenda. It is part of yours if you wish, but that is up to you.
Okay.
They are only concerned with the creation of the hybrids which will allow for the continuation of their own species.
Will I have a chance to meet any of them?
The children?
Yes.
Yes. In and around, generally speaking, your years of 2005 to, again, 2013, as a window, you will find that there will be more and more opportunities for the genetic mothers to begin to interact more blatantly and eventually on the earth itself with many of these children, as in the future, the near future, as you call time, many of these children will eventually take up residence upon your own planet with the mothers. Yes?
Do we have to interact with them? I mean, physically be around them? I mean, they'll be here. We will make contact with them. In other words, live with them, or?
Yes. There will be opportunity at first for the, as you would say, acclimatization of these children into your reality, and as such, they, of course, will require parental guidance and support. And thus, in a sense, it will be an ongoing living situation. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much for that. I would like to ask you one more question.
Yes.
What advice would you give me as far as insight as to, I'm trying to educate the public with my show. So far, things have been absolutely fantastic.
All right, then there really is no advice that we can give to anyone who is undertaking an endeavor of creativity other than to stress that it is always of maximum and paramount importance to always act upon your highest creative excitement and joy. For it is that energy that is representative of the frequency of your true core self. And if you always are willing to take action in the direction of the thing that excites you the most and express yourself in the most creative way you can imagine, then you will be fully aligned with your self-chosen purpose, your so-called missions and goals, because you will be being yourself. And by being yourself, that is how you serve others best, because then by being yourself, whatever it is you are inspired to do will be automatically what others will need you to do that will be of service to them. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
That's all there is to it.
Thank you very much for that. And one last question
Yes.
that I appreciate. How will the environment be prepared for the hybrid? How will we be introduced to the children? Will there be a major announcement? Will there be...
Usually not. There will be a time when this will be appropriate, but at first you will find that there will simply be, more often than not, though there will be some exceptions, a few exceptions, there will be isolated areas that individuals on your planet will suddenly simply find themselves being attracted to move to. And in moving to those isolated areas, they will find that it will be the correct environment for the slow introduction of the hybrid child, safe from the majority of civilization until such time as full acclimatization can take place. This will be one of the strongest methodologies.
Thank you. Can you describe some of their physical attributes or their appearances? What do they look like? How are they...
Again, it will depend upon the amount of human genetic material that may have been utilized in the creation of any given hybrid. Some of them will, in your terms, look more human. Some of them will look less human in that sense. But generally speaking, since our race also is representative of a hybridization, it will be, in general, similar to the appearance that we have, which is relatively slender and frail compared to humans of average. The idea of 4 to 5 feet of your height, whitish-gray skin coloration, like unto what you would call your paper, larger eyes than human eyes, slightly larger heads than human heads. But in that sense, we would deem that most of you would find them, while at first perhaps a little bit shocking and unusual, relatively cute. At least by what we understand human standards to be.
That is wonderful. Bashar, may I ask you another question?
That was a question.
Okay.
Do you want to ask another one again?
Yes, I do.
All right. You do not have to ask if you can ask.
Okay, well, thank you. You're very nice. What is the ultimate goal for this hap of the gods, if you would, for having...
Gods?
Oh, whoever they are.
Are you talking about the extraterrestrial species involved in the hybridization?
Actually, the question is, I want to know, what is the ultimate goal of the Creator in doing this? Is this going against our will?
The Creator has no goal except to be itself. That is the only goal the Creator has. Were the Creator to have any other goal other than to simply be itself in all the ways that it can, this would put too much of a restriction on creation. There can be no restriction on creation. It must be open-ended and infinite, or it cannot be truly creation. Thus, the idea of the Creator is that the Creator does not have unto itself a goal except to experience itself in all the ways that it possibly can, which means all the beings of every type, everywhere and every when that exist within creation are aspects of the Creator, experiencing itself, expressing itself in all ways that it can from all perspectives, and in essence, interacting with itself in all manners possible. The only goal of the Creator is to experience itself as creation. There is no ultimate goal other than that, because it is simply its nature, and the only goal it has is to simply express its nature. Do you follow that?
Yes, I do. I appreciate your explanation.
Thus then, it is not that any one thing goes against the grain, or so-called with the grain of the Creator. Yes, there are things that might be mechanically destructive. There might be things that are mechanically constructive. You can understand that there is a flow that represents going with the grain, so to speak, that there is a flow that in some senses represents going against the grain, so to speak. But it is not against the will. It is simply that there are some things that are more efficient than others, some things that are more representative of holism than others, some things that are more representative of segregation than others. The ultimate idea, therefore, is for every species and every individual, everywhere and everywhen, to decide for themselves whether or not they wish to function on a more holistic and therefore more creation representative level, or a more segregational and therefore, in a sense, a more destructive representation level. But that is up to each and every individual. Do you follow?
Yes, I do. And what is the health of these children, and what is their diet? What do they enjoy eating when they come to this planet?
At first, in the initial stages of the hybridization, the health was not that good until certain adjustments were made. Now, more and more and more of them are, in your terms, healthy. There will be a very light diet, as it will be mostly in liquid form, what you would call the liquefaction of vegetables and fruits, some of which are native to your world, which are brought to them for the ability to adapt, some of which are not native to your world. In that sense, there is a very, very light amount of the ingestion of solid material, again in natural raw form. They will not eat anything that you would call cooked or prepared in any other way other than being natural. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Does this help you?
This helps me greatly. It's been a great pleasure talking with you, and I want to give other people an opportunity to have your time. And
All
I thank
right.
you very, very much.
We thank you again for the opportunity for this co-created transmission and interaction. And we will now, at this time, proceed with the idea for this transmission that we will call breaking the seals. From time to time, as we have said, we will, a little bit ahead of time, prepare the channel with diagrams that may be germane for the explanations we are about to give. Thus, then, you can perhaps see on what you would call your drawing board one such diagram that is representative of a very particular thing and will function as a very simple illustration of some of the points we are about to make regarding the breaking of the seals. Now, upon your planet, it is being recognized by many individuals that it is time for the opening of informational sources that have been hidden, secret, sealed for a long time as you count time. More and more and more individuals are discovering information hidden, built in to other levels of information, beneath, underneath the surface information, are beginning to unseal the coded books, the coded secrets, beginning to reveal things that have been waiting for what you call this end of days, this cycle of change, this cycle of transformation. You are now finding in many ancient texts subtext and reams of holographically imprinted information that is revealing a number of different scientific and sociological bits of advice and information and insight. Many things are opening up and revealing themselves to you now. More and more and more, this will go on. This diagram, in general, represents one geometric understanding that some individuals on your planet are beginning to have cognition of, and we will explain this illustration to show what we mean. Now, we have from time to time mentioned the idea of what is called the phi ratio, which you all know of in mathematical terms as a ratio or a proportion that is representative of the natural growth of things, the growth of things in nature. All exhibit these proportions, these golden sacred geometry proportions, as you call them. The phi ratio specifically being 1 to 1.618. Everything in nature, your bodies, plants, anything that grows, anything that evolves, exhibits physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, these cycles, these ratios in the cycles of events, of growth, of position, of timing, of attitude, of proportion, of expression. You will find in music these ratios. You will find again in growing things, in the physical, actual dimensions of things, these ratios. Again, for example, as we have said, as an early illustration, the idea of your hand, your finger, the first joint If that is 1, the second joint is 1.618 times bigger. If the second joint is 1, the third joint is 1.618 times bigger. This is how nature builds. It is the template, the underlying blueprint of growth and expansion. And you will find it embedded in everything. Now, to illustrate the idea of the revelation of interconnectedness, this diagram, we will begin with a rectangle, what you would call illustration number 1. This will be a golden proportion phi ratio rectangle. The short side will be 1. The long base will be 1.618. For the purposes of this illustration, to give you some fill-in numbers, not that it cannot be any other size, but for the purposes of this illustration, to make it easy for you, if you are writing, if you are calculating, you can consider this rectangle to have a short side of 2.5 of your inches and a base of 4 inches, although more accurately 4.045 inches. But for now, 4 inches will do. If you will then bisect this rectangle with a line down the center, as you will see in illustration number 2, then draw, as in illustration number 3, a diagonal line from the top to the corner, both directions. You will now have what you will call a triangular or pyramidal form. Do you follow so far? This pyramidal form is exactly the dimensions and proportions of your Great Pyramid at Gizeh, for it is a phi ratio pyramid. Its height relative to its baseline is exactly 1 to 1.618. Now, what you will see in the more complex diagram is this. This is what has been done. This is what has followed from the creation of step number 3. If you will take the baseline of the pyramid and treat it as a diameter of a circle and draw the big circle, you will see that the large circle falls just a little bit short of the apex of the pyramid. Do you see this? All right. Now, if you will then allow yourself to treat the point, the apex of the pyramid, as the center of another circle, one that is only just tangent, that is just touching the larger circle, and draw this smaller circle, do you see it? All right. Then you have this circle on top of the large circle with the apex of the pyramid at its center. Then below, you will find that if you take the baseline, the diameter now of the large circle, and make a square down below the bottom half of the large circle, that is again 4 inches, that is a square, 4.045 if you wish to be accurate. And then you will find that you draw another circle down underneath in the center, that is underneath the large circle and tangent to it. Do you see this? All right. Now then, you will understand that here you have a diagram that has a pyramid in it, what you would recognize as the phi ratio pyramid on your planet, that which you call the Great Pyramid at Gizeh, exact in its angles, its base angles of 51 degrees, its apex angle of 78 degrees, a phi ratio pyramid of 1 to 1.618. Based on this then, and in this way having constructed these 3 circles, what you will now understand is the large circle is representative in this scale of the diameter of your own Earth. The small circle on top is exactly the diameter of your moon. The circle underneath is exactly the diameter of Mars. Now, look at this relationship. And understand that upon your Earth, and upon your Mars, and upon your moon, all 3 bodies exhibit phi ratio pyramidal structures. They all have pyramids. They are connected in a very interesting way. Now, also, for this is something we will get into at a later time, you will notice that the small circle, now what you understand to be your moon, also has rays radiating top, side, and bottom. This is simply representative of the idea that your sun, your star, is perfectly eclipsed by your moon, which means that the distance that your moon is from the Earth is exactly the correct distance for its diameter to exactly and precisely eclipse your central star, which, as we have said recently, is not an accident. We have talked recently about the idea, and it again is being discovered as the seals are being broken. It is being discovered more and more every day with what you would call more raw data, that your moon, while a natural body unto itself, does not come from your solar system. It has, in a sense, been, as you would say, doctored, engineered, and positioned intentionally around your planet for the purpose of acting as a regulator, a psycho-regulator. It was positioned there after what you called the destruction of Atlantis and your last polar shift to function as a balancer, a balancing, regulating, cyclic regulating mechanism to help balance your planet so it would be less likely that such would happen again. We will go into more detail about the history of this at another time, but suffice to say that this particular diagram is representative of the breaking of a seal, the opening of new geometric embedded information in golden sacred geometry proportions, and now many individuals on your planet are beginning to discover in, again, as we have said, some of your ancient texts, that which you would call in the original forms, your Hebrew texts, your Sanskrit texts, and so on, coded information that bespeaks of ancient knowledge embedded in these texts for the purpose of being discovered at the time of the end of the cycle so that the seals could be broken and that this information could be revealed, and your people are finding it now. Congratulations. So, look to your literature now, and you will see more and more and more and more examples and indications of the breaking of the seals and the revelation of this hidden information encoded in many ancient texts in many ways. And it is the information you need to understand your reality, and the information you need that will assist you in gaining a larger, more holographic perspective of who you are and your reality, so that you can engineer, so to speak, your reality in the direction you prefer it to be. We thank you at this time for allowing us to discuss the idea of the opening of these gates, these secrets, these seals. And once again, in return for the gift that you are giving our civilization in allowing this communication to take place, I ask at this time, in what way may I and my world be of service to you?